Hey, everyone. Simply Secular. How you doing? It is I, with my hands, and the tower, and the mirror, and the mirror, and the mirror. I'll start off with my left hand. Let's see what's what. Let's see what's going on. There we go. Hope everyone's doing well this afternoon. I'm about as miserable or not miserable as I usually am. So I'm at baseline. Hey, Troy, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Should really read your newsletter, Troy. MC Fractal. I'm sorry, MC Fractal. I have your newsletter in my inbox, kicking around there, and I should really read it. But I'm sure. Well, MC Fractal, your regiment, intellectual regiment, is very impressive. I mean, from just what I've seen, from what you read and what you consume and what you produce. I only aspire to such greatness as you, sir. Me, I'm lucky to do my 2 shows. I do my blog post. I'll write a couple of jokes. And, I'll read a bit of the book that I'm reading through currently. And then, I'll go through a couple of articles in The Economist. Doing okay. So far, the cats included. Good for the cats. I think the girlfriend and I, we are going to get some cats too once the COVID-19 crisis has receded a bit. I've heard that there's a long line at vet centers nearby, but I think we should explore that some more. I don't know if she's watching right now, but I think we should get some cats in our lives over here. So, it isn't the question of the easy blocks to take out, but which blocks to take out that will maintain the stability of the tower over time. Otherwise, I would just do tax cuts and give it to the rich. I'm sorry, I'm diverting conversation between I'm conflating the Jenga tower and economics right there and public policy. Who wrote the Simply Secular? Don't become smitten by some little kitten. Well, I would be happy with just getting a big fat cat, to tell you the truth. I'd like to jump over kitten to getting just a big fat cat. We adopted Ricky Thulu from the local. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Yeah, that's a nice sized cat there, MC. That's a nice sized cat. When I was married, we adopted a cat, the worst cat in the world. It was our cat. So my sister has an expensive Bengal cat, pretty but terrible pet. Yeah. We adopted a dog too, Ruby. She's not with us anymore, and she passed on years ago. She was a good dog. We got her from a friend of a friend of a friend. It was a good dog. Eccles, we literally got off the street, meowing his head off after being abandoned by his mother. That's sad. That's sad. It's good for you, though. Good for you that you got the cat, right? And that's a nice cat, too. You got 2 good cats there, MC. Tons of mice. 2 men enter, 1 tower falls. Jenga dome. See, the tower is still, I can still spin it around and take a look at it. Jenga dome, Jenga dome. Oh, this is, so it's Friday. I got to figure out, I got to get my head on straight for this weekend because I got a bunch of shows coming up. And some of the shows require actual research. You know, the Atheist Drinking Out Loud just requires me to drink really on a full stomach. If I drink on a full stomach, then things work out well on Atheist Drinking Out Loud. But then I have the show on Sunday about AAI, and I feel like I have to do some research. I know something about the drama between AAI and IAA and OMG. I'm sorry, that's a cheap joke right there. That was a cheap joke. I got to do some research on that. And I should actually spend some time trying to do some real. So here's an interesting question, which I could share with you guys, right? Because you've heard my story about me reconnecting with my birth parents, right? With my birth mother. So for those of you who don't know this, I just through 23andMe, my birth mother, my birth family on my mom's side reached out to me, and so now, you know, I've been texting off and on with my half sister, and I've talked with my mom once. And what I want to do is have another, you know, conversation with my biological mom, right? To kind of like work on a relationship and everything. But, you know, like, what do I talk about? I think I have to write a list. I think I have to write like at least 3 bullet points about things that I feel I can talk about without coming off as some kind of left-wing godless fanatic, you know, or lunatic. And that unfortunately means a lot of my go-to subjects, sex, politics, and religion are out. So what can I talk about? I can talk about the weather, right? The Red Sox are starting up again. Spring training, right? Aren't we doing spring training? So maybe in order for me to talk to normal people, I need to be up on baseball. That's what I'm saying. Because my mom seems like a very normal person, maybe a little religious too. So I think if we talk about the Red Sox, you know, I'm going to have to do some research to talk to my mom. Basically, that's what I'm saying. And this isn't even a bit, though. I think if when I do comedy again live, I would probably use this. Like for those of you with parents that you interact with, do you have to come up with topics of conversation before chatting with them? I don't know. It's a new problem for me. Hey, Jenga and beer. No beer. I'm saving my beer for Saturday. That's what I'm doing. Oh, Simply Secular. I just saw that. How do you know if you paid the right amount for a cat? There is a fee line. Very nice. Very nice. So yeah, I think I can come up with some bullet points that I can have at least a good 15 to 20 minute conversation with my birth mother. And, you know, and nourish that relationship there. And, you know, Neil, the 604 atheist, is adopted too. So I'm going to ask him how he gets around the rage, you know, about being abandoned. I'm going to ask him about that because he's an emotionally kind of cool guy, right? Neil, the 604 atheist. And I think he runs a lot cooler than I do. So I'm going to ask him for some of his wisdom on Saturday. And I'm sure what Neil will say something is like, Andy, maybe you should work on those emotions before you talk to your mom so that it doesn't spill out in the conversation with her. That's what he'd probably say if he was here today. Me and my dad just yell and laugh at each other. Oh, that's nice. I have a friend like that. I have a conservative friend who basically, when we go out drinking, I have one conservative friend who I've known for the last 35 years. And when we go out drinking, it inevitably boils down to us yelling at each other, laughing about it, browning out, maybe blacking out. And it's all good afterwards. Yep. Oh, I'm sure Neil is better in person. Right. So, yeah. Towers building up. Towers. James Henry, how you doing? We were just talking about atheists drinking out loud on Saturday and possible conversational topics with Neil, the 604 atheist. Because Neil's adopted too. So I'll probably... So I was thinking about asking him for advice on how to talk to your birth mother after never having seen her or talked to her ever. I've had one conversation with my birth mom, and I'm looking to have another one. But I got some of the angers, I got some of the angers. Mirth, methinks. It's funny that people would have to tell me that mirth would probably be a good way to go. And you're right. Some good old-fashioned non-angry humor, some basic stuff like that would probably work out well. You should do an adopt TED talk. Simply Secular, you're on fire. But you're usually you're pretty much on fire all the time anyway. Fast with a wit. Just don't ask Neil if he can look and see if you have something. I know, right? That's a crazy story he has. What's up, Derek? Hope you're doing well. That's not going to work, Andy. That's not going to work. But that'll work right there. TY, I don't know what makes other people chuckle, but it makes me chuckle. Well, the funny thing about it, Simply Secular, there are different flavors of comedy, aren't there? There are different flavors of comedy. And depending on the room or whoever you're hanging around, different types of comedy work. I remember reading that conservatives typically like, and I've talked about this before, conservatives typically like very concrete humor, right? Like the knock-knock jokes, the physical pratfalls, stuff like that. While liberals enjoy abstract humor, like when Stephen Colbert was doing the Colbert Report, he was playing a character. Adoption, the road to hell paved with good intentions. Yeah. Well, I have, it's, yeah. We will talk more about this when Neil's around on Saturday to see what his input is. And of course, the most important thing is that I haven't even come out as being a semi-public personality. I'm not really a personality, but I put so much stuff on the blog, on the internet here, is that a lot of my private life is public. And, my kids have grown up in that environment. My girlfriend and I started dating. She knew what I do here in this space or on the internet. But my birth family, not at all. Not at all. So there's going to have to be a discussion about that. Hey, you got a very short video clip? Oh, hey. That's pretty cool, Simply Secular. So what was the video clip a short video clip on the Colbert Report. What was that? What was the bit about? Was it a news story or was it just a comedy bit, comedy routine? But did it involve your cat and soup? I haven't had a good soup for a while. I'll tell you something, right? I was watching TV last night, and I saw this commercial for, I think it was like the Burger King dollar menu or McDonald's dollar menu, and it was for a bacon cheeseburger. And I'm going, wow, I'd love to have one of those, but I can't eat bacon. And then I realized, wow, I'd love to eat that, but I can't even have the cheeseburger either since I've become a vegetarian. Yeah, see, that's not working either. None of this is working. Actually, if MC Fractal's still been around, MC Fractal and I have known each other since I was blogging on my old blog, Laughing in Purgatory, which is years ago at this point, to tell you the truth, which is years ago when I first started out doing comedy online. Simply Secular. Steve was in the Irish house messing about. A guy jumped on the stage and got mobbed by security. Their 3 cameras missed it, but I got it. Oh, good. And they asked me to use about 1 second of it on the air. Interesting. Interesting. I never eat fast food. Yeah, it's one of those things, James Henry, that I have cut down the amount of fast food I eat quite a bit, but man, I got vices. I got vices, brother. I got vices. And the one good thing about getting older is that my vices have decreased over time. Though that could also be a function of COVID-19, of me not going out and causing trouble. I don't know if I ever told you guys this story, right? The girlfriend and I were out. This is before the apocalypse, before COVID. We were out drinking with my buddy, my hide the body friend, my hide the body buddy. And we were out drinking like really way too much and into the night. And we stopped off at the Hong Kong, which is in Harvard Square. So we were at the Hong Kong drinking scorpion bowls and, eating really bad Chinese food because the Hong Kong does not offer the best Chinese food in the world. And they cut us off. They shut us off with the Chinese food. They said they very much wanted to flip our table, and so they took what was left of the poo-poo platter away. So they shut us off from the Chinese food, not from the alcohol. They gave us another drink or two, but it was, as I recall, I don't know. It's already. I know it's wonky already, Theo. Good to see you, Theo. I eat fast food slow. Oh, really? Huh? You do that slow food movement. Yeah. Well, yeah. Monsanto. Yeah, they're not helping. They're not helping at all. And imaginary God. I can't wait to go out to a restaurant. Yep, I hear you. Well, you know what I miss the most, of course, is our diners. I love myself a diner. I love going to a diner / deli. I think they're both in the same category, though not necessarily. The diner / deli experience, the coffee shop experience, which I particularly enjoy too, and the pub. I like seeing movies. the matinee movie at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, first showing of the day when no one else is around. I can't get enough of that. That seems like a vice, going to the matinee movie during the week. See, I think I should. I think this will work, everyone. Oh, hey, did that work? I think it works. Monsanto was banned from the EU. How about that? Oh, yeah. I spent way too much time at the gym. Well, I spent time at the gym. It was, and I exercise here and everything, but there isn't anything like going to the gym. I like going to the gym. For me, it's all like PT. I'm never, I'm 52. I'm not putting on muscle anyway, but I never have put on muscle anyway. It's really just keeping my cardiovascular fitness and keeping what muscle mass I do have intact. But no, I went to the gym. But actually, the gym that we were going to is closed. Hey, Nicole Kelly, how are you? Oh, yeah. Well, yep. I hear what you're saying there, James Henry. Well, I try my best, Nicole. I try my best. Actually, Bayer, the next German farmer giant, bought Monsanto. Oh, interesting. Simply, I only go to the movies at the one theater here where you can drink alcohol and they don't allow kids. Yeah, my gym. Yeah, imaginary god. The gym that we were going to just closed down altogether. It was really nice too. It was a nice gym, but it is what it is. Yeah, there is a movie theater. It's not the nicest movie theater, but they did something like $5 movie on Tuesdays, matinees. It was something super cheap that I'd go to occasionally. And that was pretty sweet. But in Europe, most of the GMO and certain chemicals are forbidden that are allowed in the U.S. Yeah. The U.S. isn't known for its regulatory regime, is it? I guess we should build up the tower a little bit. And I'm buying or building a Jenga tower. To heaven. See if you touch it. If you just touch it the wrong way, it's going to collapse. I guess I touched it the wrong way. Now comes the most exciting and most interesting part. I go off screen to pick up the Jenga blocks. And Jenga blocks. Well, I can tell you this, at least they didn't splatter all over the place. That's good. Get my Jenga sleeve. Does anyone have, let's see, James Henry. We are on lockdown since Christmas, and they say they will review it again on the 12th of March. Wow, that's tough. We've been in curfew for almost 12 months. I always try to catch it, Theo. That's what I do. I always try to catch it. For two reasons. One, I think there's an instinctual need to try to hold on to something even while it's collapsing. No, I'm not talking about any of my failed romantic relationships I've had over the years. It's just the tower. I feel like I should try to catch it. Nice, tons of mice. I see what you did there. Well, Theo, if I catch them all in my jacket, I feel like I would get some kind of, there should be some kind of award or something for that. I haven't been in a supermarket for a long time, to tell you the truth. Yeah. Oh, see, I'm even dropping the blocks as I'm building the tower up. Ugh. So do you all have anything interesting going on this weekend? Anything fascinating? If I didn't have all the shows I was already planned out, I've been thinking about going through some of the old comments on the videos, on my videos, to all those Trump supporters who told me that Trump was going to win the election. I have a couple of hundred of them. If I wanted to, I could go through and just make my replies. But I'm busy this weekend, so I'm not going to do it this weekend. I'm going to read the NBS report. Now, I should know what the NBS report is, but I don't know what an NBS or the NBS report is. James Henry. All right, so now I'm going to try my right hand. I was using my left hand. Now I'm going to try my right hand. And since I'm right hand dominant, you would think I'd be better at doing this with my right hand, but that's not necessarily true. That is not necessarily true. All right. Here we go. All right. Hand. Oh, the killing in Turkey. Right. Never take out the middle pieces. Yeah, the middle pieces do seem to be, especially, it's okay to take like some, but to focus specifically on the middle, that's a bad idea. Epic battle. Yeah, that's not going to work. All right. See, that one just seems too easy to take away. I don't know if you can hear that lovely hammering in the background. Yes, my neighbors are still doing construction. They don't do it at all hours of the night, though, so that's good. The first rule of Jenga block of Jenga Club is, and I'm not in Jenga Club. I look different from the last video I made. Well, I can guarantee you, still the same person. My hair, I mean, it's later on in the day. I haven't really done anything. Well, yeah, believe me, I'm still me. I have it on very good information, Nicole Kelly. Of course, I'm not wearing. I used to wear my hat quite a bit during the early videos. I just deciding to go without hat. Sans hat. Dr. Blocky. Where does this focus on middle pieces come from, do you think, Andy? Good question. Good question. I think my fixation on the middle pieces comes from a fixation. A fixation. That's what it does. And maybe some impulse control too, because sometimes the middle pieces are far easier to get out than other pieces. I'm sure there's a reason for that, like a physics reason why that happens. It's 21:30 there. That sounds like it's late, James Henry. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like that's late. And of course, when I do the news show in the morning, I have my jacket on because I want to look newsy, right? And so that adds a certain amount of respectability if I have my suit jacket or a suit jacket on, even though I still have my hoodie on. Your first show is 1,500 hours, which is, let's see, 3 o'clock your time. All right, yeah. Oh, right. I think that would be a simple way of being able to collect. Well, I thought that if I had a little fence around the perimeter here of the table, then the pieces wouldn't all crash on the floor. It would make a less satisfying crashing sound, though. All right, I'm just going to go with this piece. This is the easiest of the pieces. It's probably a mistake. That's what I'm going to do. Because, not only do you get to hear the crash when the Jenga pieces fall on the table, but you also get to hear them when they're on the floor, too. And it's a very satisfying crashing sound. You're 9 hours behind James. God, imaginary God, eh? I gotta move up the camera. Or net around so you can pull them up. That's right, Theo. Nope, that's not working, everyone. In case you're wondering if that was going to work, it's not going to work. Do you like sneakers, sandals, or flip-flops, Nicole? I have to tell you, because I have obscenely weak ankles. Interesting thing, my wrists are super thin, right? Super thin. And my ankles are razor thin, too. So I can't wear sandals, really, because I don't want to blow out my ankles. I blew out my ankles quite a bit before I figured out that my ankles need support. So I will typically wear high top sneakers or high top boots, for an example, when I'm out and about. And to tell you the truth, it's been a very good system. I haven't blown out my ankles for years. So I'm not a sandals person. Though I'm not philosophically against sandals. Oh, I've heard about the Frasier reboot coming. I have no idea about Kelsey Grammer. I don't know if he is a righty or not. It's an interesting question. And, I mean, the man who played the father in Frasier isn't with us anymore. He passed. He died years ago. So I mean, I imagine it would be a show about Frasier being older and retired, or I don't know what it sounds interesting. Theo, you install a pulley on the ceiling so you can have a cable to pull washing bag around the clapping top. Theo, it seems like that would be a lot of work about the whole pulley system. I'm really focused on getting this one block out, everyone, as you can probably tell. I'm too focused on it. I think there's a moral there somewhere. Uh-oh. Is Kelsey right wing? I haven't heard about that, James Henry, but I trust you on that. Why is Bill Clinton always on the screen? Well, that's my girlfriend's book. I'm going to throw my girlfriend underneath the bus right now. Apologies to my girlfriend. That is her book. And so my books happen to be not really visible, to tell you the truth, right now. Those you see, yes, those books are prominent. LBJ, Bill Clinton, those are hers. Hey, got this one out. I'm not unhappy about that. Cheers was, I have to tell you something. I started watching Mark Maron's show. It wasn't really a sitcom. It was a comedy show when it was on IFC. And then Louis C.K. had his sitcom on FX. And, though, Louis C.K., he has moral deficiencies. We'll just say that. His show was, in part, in areas, it was pretty brilliant. And it's tough for me to get back into sitcoms after seeing those two really good shows. And that's been years now. Oh, they're your grandmothers. All right, the girlfriends. So I guess we can throw your grandmother under the bus then. So those were her books, the Bill Clinton, the LBJ, and books there. So we can blame her. Oh, you've read the Clinton book, Tons of Mice? Yeah. Moral deficiencies. Yeah, that's a way to say it, right? Wow, that is hard. Hard girlfriend. She said she can go under the bus. Wow. I applaud your honesty. I applaud your honesty. I'm going to move this around and see if I can actually get to a block that is easily obtainable. Here we go. That was easy. Yeah, candor. To tell you the truth, the girlfriend and I would be very good if we were going to do a vaudevillian act from like the 1880s, right? If it was the 1880s, we could take the show on the road and we can make jokes about horrible diseases, like, you know, and weight loss miracles, like tapeworm in a bottle and stuff like that. We have good comedic timing, the girlfriend and I do. Oh, really? Tons of mice. In the book, Bill mentions a factory in Arkansas you once worked at. Interesting. That's your problem, Andy. This is from Theo. You try to take the easily obtainable block and not the best static interest in the tower in the long run. Well, I am an American, Theo. Us Americans, we are not really interested in long-term sustainable strategies. I don't know if you know that about my country. Actually, this is more of an attempt at me making a sustainable tower over time. I'm actually trying not to like just grab everything that's easily accessible. I'm putting some effort into working on certain blocks that I know if I take them out, they will make the tower more stable. But those are the blocks, my friends, that don't want to move. If I'm going to anthropomorphize this whole conversation about the blocks, there are blocks here that are stubborn blocks. Now, this is a block that's okay to take out at this point. I think it's okay. Nice. I see what you guys are doing there. When I was a kid, I think in maybe 5th grade or so, I did a report on Andrew Jackson. Maybe I was in 4th grade. And of course, you know, because my name is Andy, his name is Andy, I thought, I got to do a report on a president. I might as well do it on Andy Jackson. It was a very whitewashed book, let me tell you that. It didn't talk about any of the unpleasantries. Oh, you're right about that. That quote from Winston Churchill is spot on. Americans can always be counted on to do the right thing after they've exhausted all of the possibilities. Yep. It is something about the American psyche that, man, we will do everything we can to avoid doing the right thing. That's nice. I like that too. Imaginary God. I have Churchill's books up here on World War II. Closing the Ring, The Grand Alliance. I haven't gone through them yet. I got them. I don't even know where I got them. I think I got them from in old books. I got them from a bookstore, used, of course. And of course, whenever you read history like that, the author is always trying to polish up their own image, right? Churchill polishing up his own image for history. Oh, really? Tons of mice. You've been to Jackson's home in Nashville, huh? The Hermitage. Interesting. He was a crazy guy, Andrew Jackson. Like, even in terms of Americans, he was a crazy guy. I mean, even when you don't think about his war crimes, right, or his crimes against humanity, I mean, his crimes against humanity, the man was a lunatic. Add a temper to him. Is it falling now? It's just readjusting. I want some positivity here. Oh, well, imaginary God, I've used that quote many times. Democracy is the worst form of government except for all the others. I've 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 used that many a time. Yeah, that's right. You thought I was gonna fall that time, didn't you? Didn't you, chat? You thought I was gonna you thought I was gonna fall. Did not fall. Oh, look out. Oh yeah, well Churchill was an autocrat, and he did not have, much like many so-called uh, well-respected leaders. Churchill had his fair amount of misses. Let's say he was not infallible. He, for an example, in World War One, he was head of the Admiralty for Britain, and he did. For those of you who are Brits or Australians, you already know this, but he orchestrated the landing in Gallipoli, in Turkey, or the Ottoman Empire, as it was known at the time, and that was a fiasco of biblical proportions. I guess if you're a New Zealander, they probably teach that in school. The World War One landings at Gallipoli. So yeah, that was his brainchild, from what I understand. I'm sure there's someone from a Commonwealth country about to correct me on this. No. Well, yes, imaginary God. He effed that up. The Anzacs, right, James Henry? The modern conservatives engage in one of the man's oldest exercises in moral philosophy, that is the search for superior moral justification for selfishness. Oh, I like that. You can't put it on a T-shirt. I think that's very difficult to put on a T-shirt. That's what you can say about Nietzsche. Nietzsche, he had all these sayings you could put on a T-shirt easily. All right, I'm gonna go with this one. I know I probably shouldn't. Don't should me, chat. Don't should me. Oh, you can, I guess. That's fine. That was probably not the best move. But you know what's interesting in wartime is that the people who are abject, there's a lot of personalities who don't do well outside of that kind of conflict, right? Like Ulysses Grant. Didn't really do a whole lot, wasn't really good at a lot of things except for running armies in combat, even when the army wasn't doing anything. If the army wasn't actively in combat, he would start drinking. And I think Churchill was like one of those guys who he had his moment. He may have been a train wreck of a human being otherwise, but he had a moment. And Grant was good at drinking, yeah. Well, that's the thing about James Henry, is that there is, especially if you talk about conservatives who are religious, right? So that's like double plus bad. That they want to go back to a world that never existed. And he was an alcoholic. You're right about that. See, no, the whole tower didn't fall. Only a block fell. So that means I can still keep playing. Well, the GOP is the party of logical fallacies, toxic, aggressive logical fallacies. Well, what's interesting here in the States, it is, yes, there is something to be said that hardcore tribalism, real intense tribalism, I think requires scapegoats, right? I think if you're going to have a really rigid form of tribe, that really means that you need to have a scapegoat. I think psychologically speaking, there has to be the other. If you're really, really, and I don't know, I'm just spitballing this out right now, but rigid hierarchical systems seem to require a scapegoat for the group to exercise its all this pent up anger at. Oh well, yeah, imaginary god. Oh hey, take care, Theo. Good seeing you. Good talking to you. Yeah, Rick Perry is dumber than a left-handed football bat. Yep. Man, that's not going. The only thing, maybe, possibly, maybe, definitely, very good. So a Jenga cheat would be for a block at a time to accidentally fall off. You could tear the whole tower down and keep playing. Interesting. Why can't we all get along? It's almost as if our brains aren't. If we evolved from a different animal, then maybe we would all get along when you think about it, right? If we evolved from more of a large herd animal, then maybe we wouldn't be able to all get along. Maybe, possibly. It's an interesting question that Kubrick was asking in 2001, whether or not violence is inherent in consciousness, right? With Hal. That was one of the themes he was exploring, whether or not violence is just a feature. It's not a bug, but it's a feature of consciousness. Well, apparently Ted Cruz was being, a Q-con. Yep. Oh, geez, MC Fractal, bringing it back to Traveler RPGs Alien. I haven't played Traveler since high school, to tell you the truth. I haven't played Traveler since high school. So the last game of Traveler I played, I convinced the game master for me to have one of these. It was a shield gun from the fourth Doctor, the Tom Baker Doctor, so that it would act as a shield, but there was also a gun in it too. And I was able to convince him that I could have one of those. But I haven't played Traveler for a long time. Most of my friends are white and do have black and brown friends. I live in a white country. Yes. Yeah, I grew up in in a city there was a lot of different types of people in it. And that's one of the things I think I'm going to talk about with Neil too on Saturday, the 604 Atheist, is how meeting his birth parents affected how he saw his adopted family or his circumstances when he was growing up. It's Amsterdam, still Hookerville. It wasn't all, I've only been to Amsterdam once for a couple of days. It wasn't all. There was there's a red light district, right? It seemed to be very orderly, well maintained. But getting back to Traveler, I would. Wow, that's a really warped kind of tower here. Yeah, I'd love to do something again. Maybe Dungeons and Dragons or Traveler. I don't even know if Traveler is still a game people play, to tell you the truth. I played Marvel Superheroes for a while. Then, of course, I did some LARPing, too. Did some live action role-playing, which was crazy. Oh, see, I thought I was going to fall, and I was about to go grab it. I live in Rotterdam. What? That's nice, James Henry. Rotterdam, the less popular of the dams. You got your Amsterdam, which most people know, at least most people here in the States. Then you got your Rotterdam. It's not bad. Feyenoord. Feyenoord. Did I mention this yesterday? I was talking to my girlfriend about this. I think I mentioned it the other day while I was doing this stream about how Isaac Newton just, created calculus, discovered calculus, however you want to say it. It was during the plague in London. And Newton took some time off, went to the country and discovered, created calculus. And I'm already shaming myself. Oh, I'm going to be stocking up on the most recent version of Traveler books. Found a few of them online. Oh, that's nice. That's good. Yeah, I was in Amsterdam many years ago. Many, many years ago. But what I like about role-playing games, especially the live ones where you are at the same table together, interacting directly with each other, it adds an element, I think, that you just don't get if you're just doing online role-playing games. But that's just a hypothesis. That's just a guess on my part. All right, I'm going to go around the other side and see what I can get. See if I can get anything out of this. Nope, that's not going anywhere. That's not going anywhere. It's not. No block. I role-play computer tech support with my family from time to time. Yeah, I hear a lot of people who know something about tech get to engage in that role-playing game. Prepare the nets. Hey, that's negative talk. Tons of nice. This is going to go forever, man. I'm going to be like Jesus with the loaves of fish, and I'm just going to be making higher Jenga towers with just the Jenga block that I have here. And Jesus could feed the 5,000 and the 10,000. I can make a Jenga tower 20 stories tall, maybe. All right. Epic look here. I've got a friend back in Portsmouth, Virginia, who's a master at running GURPS. Oh, I love GURPS. So we're working on doing it online now that I'm out of state. Yeah, GURPS. I haven't played GURPS for a long time. That's a Steve Jackson game. Funny thing, right, about Steve Jackson games. I used to play Killer when I was in high school. This is before all the school shootings that happened in the 90s. And so GURPS, the game Killer, it's a very simple game. You basically have a list of people who were playing the game, and you could use like maybe very simple, like little foam rubber tipped dart guns, or there's one guy who, and it's a game of assassination, a play assassination. So you could have like a water gun and assassinate someone who's playing. And it was basically, and like the game's title, Killer, last person standing was the winner. Very simple game. Very fun, though. The crumple is imminent. Hey. Mr. Jesus, your order of loaves and fish have been shipped. Thank you. We want loaves and fish. But Jenga blocks. Infinite Jenga blocks. Oh, look at that. Nope. That did not work out. That negatively worked out. Well, it was good while it lasted, everyone. Right? It was good while it lasted. Yeah, it was good while it lasted. That's all you can say about anything, right? Hopefully it is good. And hopefully it lasts at least for a while and you get to enjoy it. Another life lesson while playing Jenga. Well, there's nothing but going down from here, James Henry. Is that what you're saying? They wanted fish sandwiches. Well, there you go, everyone. Another game of Jenga is over. What am I doing? The next time you'll see me on this channel probably is tomorrow at 5 p.m. to do Atheist Drinking Out Loud. I think James Henry is joining us tomorrow. So it's going to be Seamus from the Free Thought Prophet. Good guy. Guy from West Virginia, actually. He lives on the West Virginia-Pennsylvania border. And, of course, Neil, the 604 Atheist from Canada. The Canada guy, that guy. On the west coast of Canada. And, of course, yours truly here from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Take care. Rice Krispies for a healthy breakfast. Indeed. Filet of Christ. I like that. So we're here for a good time, not a long time. I think Diogenes, the cynic, said that. Probably not. All right. Take care, everyone. Be strong. Saturday, right? 5 p.m. Eastern. Atheist Drinking Out Loud. It'll be epic. Hopefully. We'll see. Bye.